Hello friend, this is my first video. Today we'll tell you about NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Basically it is a military and political bloc and it was set up in 1949. The reason behind of making this was that its member states could work together to protect and defend themselves. And today we'll talk about its history, structure, operations, and missions, and our table of content will be number 1, history, number 2, key principles and objectives, number 3, structure and decision making, number 4, evolution and transformation, number 5, NATO's engagements, number 6, challenges. At last, conclusion. Let's start. History of NATO's. After World War II, the Soviet Union and the spread of communism was seen as a danger, so NATO was created as a defense against them. In April 1949, when the North Atlantic Treaty was signed, after that it brought together the United States, Canada, and several European countries, as well as the 12 original member states, and after that 9 more countries have joined alliance through 9 rounds of enlargement in the year 1952, 1955, 1982, 1999, 2004, 2009, 2017, 2020, and the present year 2023. Now we'll move to key principles and objectives. The main idea behind NATO is collective defense, government consultation, and cooperation. After that, Article 5 is the most important part of the alliance. It says that an armed attack on one member is seen as an attack on all members and will be met with a group reaction. This idea shows how much NATO members care about each other's safety and acts as a deterrent to people who might want to attack. And NATO's main goals are to keep the peace and promote democratic ideals, to protect the territorial integrity of the countries that are members. They also want to improve defense and security cooperation, improve the ability to handle crises, and build partnerships with countries that are not members. Let's move to structure and decision making. In order for NATO to make decisions, member states have to talk to each other and come to an agreement. After that, the North Atlantic Council, NAC, is in charge of the partnership. The NAC is made up of representatives from each member country. The NAC gives political advice, decides on strategic priorities, and gives its approval to major policy choices. The military structure of NATO is made up of different command structures and agencies that plan, coordinate, and carry out defense operations. Let's move to the third table, evolution and transformation. Since the end of the Cold War, NATO has changed a lot to keep up with new security threats. It has added countries from Central and Eastern Europe, including some that used to be in the Warsaw Pact. It has also been very important in many foreign operations, such as keeping the peace, fighting terrorism, and handling crises, and in the past few years, it has put more stress on collective defense and deterrence. This is because Russia has become more assertive, cyber threats have increased, and the Middle East has become less stable. The alliance has put money into improving its military skills, getting ready for battle, and building stronger relationships with other countries and groups. Now it's time for NATO's engagements. Throughout its history, NATO has been involved in several wars and armed actions. I will give you some famous examples. Number 1, Kosovo War. In 1999, during the Kosovo War, it launched a 78-day bombing campaign against the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, Serbia and Montenegro, to stop the ethnic cleansing and violations of human rights in Kosovo. The operation, which was called Operation Allied Force, was NATO's first big battle. Number 2, Afghanistan invasion. After the September 11th attacks in the United States, it used Article 5 for the first time to say that the attacks were an attack on all NATO countries. So, NATO led the International Security Assistance Force, ISAF, in Afghanistan to help stabilize the country, fight insurgency, and back the Afghan government. In 2015, ISAF became the Resolute Support Mission, whose main goal is to train, advise, and help Afghan security forces. Number 3, Libya intervention. NATO did a military operation in Libya in 2011 to protect people during the uprising against Colonel Muammar Gaddafi's government. Operation Unified Protector meant putting in place a no-fly zone, putting in place an arms embargo, and bombing Gaddafi's troops from the air. Number 4, operations against piracy. Since 2008, it has been working to stop piracy off the coast of Somalia. Operation Ocean Shield was run by NATO. Its goal was to stop and disrupt pirate operations and make sure that merchant ships in the area could travel safely. 2016 was the last year of the business. Number 5, it has helped the Iraqi security forces fight terrorists and keep the country stable by giving them training and advice. The goal of the NATO training and capacity building mission in Iraq is to make Iraq's military institutions and defense assets better. Number 6. Baltic air policing. It does air policing tasks in Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania to make sure their airspace is safe. Member states take turns sending out their fighter planes to keep air surveillance and response powers going all the time. Let's move to challenges. The security situation of today presents NATO with several problems. Some of these are growing geopolitical tensions, terrorism, hybrid warfare, and the spread of weapons that can kill a lot of people. Also, member states have different views on some topics. Turkey's objection to the inclusion of Sweden in NATO, which makes it harder to reach a consensus and make decisions within the alliance. Now it's time for conclusion. Over the past 7 decades, NATO has been a very important part of supporting peace, stability, and group defense among its member states. It has changed to deal with new security risks, and it will continue to do so. As the world security situation changes, NATO's commitment to collective security is still important to protect the interests of its member countries and keep things stable in the Euro-Atlantic area and beyond. Hope you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon that you never the update from Topicsxpress.